Hello, digital friends. It's good to see you today, even though I can't really see you. Welcome to one of the tours. Can you guess where we're going? Rocky Coast. One of my favorite places. So yeah, thought we'd bring you to Rocky Coast for one of our tours. I know, again, it's a little cool for some of you. I love it, but not everybody does. So if you're not going to plan to come to the zoo in the winter, even though the zoo is open in the winter, we thought we'd bring the zoo to you. And today, we're headed to the land of ice to meet a polar bear at our Rocky Coast habitat. Here's the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro, North Carolina. It's all about zoo adventures today. My name is Steve. I'll be in front of the camera today. Behind the camera is
Brett.
And way over there is
Megan.
And we hope to bring you some really fun, different types of information. And if you have any questions, throw them in those comments and we'll see what we can do for you. Hang tight. Well, this was quite convenient on our tour of Rocky Coast. Going out and about, and we have keeper Emily working with Rhyme. Things we're trying not to set up too much on these to kind of give our guests a chance to just kind of see what things are happening as we're walking through on this damp and chilly day. And it was kind of cool. We thought, you know what, hey, it's all about animals, but Emily counts. Emily used to be one of our educators here at North Carolina Zoo, so I can pick on her a little bit. But you're looking at Rhyme, kind of, sort of. Looks like Rhyme is saying, dude, I am out. And this is what might happen if you come on a visit to the zoo anytime, really, but in the wintertime as well. Keepers may be out and about working with the animals. And it's, again, all up to the animal what they want to do. It's all about their choice and control of their day-to-day. It's Emily working with Rhyme to get Rhyme to walk around a little bit. It's part of what they want her to do in this winter, in these winter months. North American porcupine, one of the largest rodents in all of North America. Herbivores, as you probably well know. They've got those really cool spines, those quills on their back. You don't see them there. What you're looking at primarily on Rhyme right now are hairs. As a mammal, they are covered in hairs, and even the quills are modified hair. Sharp claws. They can dig a little bit, but those are more because they're arboreal. Digital friends, arboreal means? Question mark? Let's come over to Megan. Megan, arboreal.
Did they really like arbors?
Yes. In a stretch.
Or do they like eels?
Not eels.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't get along well with eels because they don't live in the same place. Although their hollow quills enable them to swim very well. So they can swim very, very well.
I wish I had hollow quills to swim.
Arboreal. Oh, that'd be kind of neat, huh? Yeah. We have to paddle so much. Yeah. Arboreal. They're in the trees. You all know. I know our digital friends know that. They love to climb. And the habitat is set up for their success that way. If you know a little bit about the animals when you're coming to visit, check out the habitats. The habitats will tell you a little bit about how the animal lives. The keepers work real hard to set up the habitats for the animals so the animals can be successful in their zoo homes. Do want to show you one of these quills. Watch this. Megan's got one to share with. Great job, Megan.
Yay, me.
So I'm not going to touch them because they're sharp, and I'm not.
You don't trust me?
I'm not. No, I don't trust me.
Oh, one of them's broken.
One of them's broken. That's okay. So those quills are modified hairs. This is the root down here. So they're not in the skin very well. As we've told you before, digital friends, they can't shoot those quills. But they will.
They can't make that sound either. I'm pretty sure they don't make that sound either.
They probably don't. It's probably a good thing. But they're lightly attached to the skin. You can see those roots. There's not much to it. So they might rattle the quills. Another way to say, hey, I'm here. They might rattle those quills. They may shake the tail and to make a noise. And they may fall out, but they can't shoot those quills. This is the pointy end. This is the end that would stick into an aggressor, into a predator, into danger They will kind of walk themselves back into a tree sometimes. They'll kind of expose those quills on the backside to a predator. And the very tips of them, one of the things that makes them different from the Cape porcupine, from Kelly, if you've met her, if you remember Kelly, is that the tips of these porcupines are barbed. So when they go into the skin, the hollowness kind of swells up a little bit and the barbs come out, and they're really hard to get out. So you can't just pull them out. They've got to kind of work their way through the body. Yeah, right? Not a pleasant experience. And for like rime and porcupines in the wild, there's also like almost an antibacterial on the tips of those to help them if they accidentally were to quill themselves. Yeah, kind of neat things on the porcupine. So, before we go, guess on how many quills are on the average porcupine's body. Number of quills on the average porcupine's body. Dun, 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 dun.
1,000.
You say 1,000.
Yeah.
You say 1,000. Let's see. No.
No?
No. So you've got a job to do now, Megan.
Yeah.
You need to count the quills on rhyme.
That means I get to snuggle her. Yay!
That might be a bad idea.
It might hurt a little bit.
I would accept
Brett
the
says
pain.
it might hurt a little bit.
I accept the pain. She's so cute.
Emily, what do you think? Is that a good idea for Megan to cuddle a porcupine like rhyme?
Well, not really. We do actually work on some touches with her, though, on her nose and on her back, and some of our keepers are working on touching her stomach for medical purposes.
So it's hard to hear Emily because she's a little farther away. Obviously, she's got a job to do. She's saying they are working on touch with her. And if they can get her used to touch, that'll help with medical procedures down the road. So, all right, before we wrap up, number of quills in a porcupine, average size animal is 30,000. Stay tuned for more animals. Tours, 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 and more tours. It's good to see you, digital friends. Always nice to have you tuned in with us. This is a parakeet auklet. We are in the seabird habitat of the North Carolina Zoo. And looking at you right there is a parakeet auklet. Not a very big bird, found in the northwestern parts of North America. One of the really neat things about parakeet auklets, for a little tiny bird, they can spend huge amounts of their lives out at sea, literally not coming to land to do anything but nest. Really amazing that these little birds can spend so much time out at sea in groups when they're together. So we're in the seabird habitat again at the zoo. Digital friends, this is an Arctic habitat. Are there penguins here? This is an Arctic habitat. Are there penguins here? Megan, do we have penguins at the North Carolina Zoo?
I see something wearing a suit, but no bow tie.
Oh, well said. We do have animals that look like penguins, but all of our animals are from the far north. Penguins are south of the equator. What you're looking at right now are horned puffins. They get their name. There's a little tiny horn-like fleshy projection that comes above the eyes. You'll see that mostly during breeding season. And the bill also changes color during breeding season. A vibrant reds and oranges, yellows. You'll see with the horned puffins. Another bird who can spend a lot of time out at sea. They nest in cavities in caves along the sea walls. Again, in northwest North America. Horned puffins. And as Megan said, they still have that black and white coat. Let's see if we can pull Brett down here a little bit for us. Here's the animal that gives everybody, well, that's a penguin. I know a penguin when I see a penguin. Nope, not these. I think these birds can fly.
What?
Right? So this is the thick-billed mirror. And where you all, I know, understand that penguins cannot fly. They are flightless birds. All the birds that you're seeing today are flighted and live above the equator, live in the far north, as a matter of fact. Do these seabirds being shared with you from the North Carolina Zoo? Again, we're in the seabird habitat. Oh, Brett getting a nice shot, trying to get the feet moving a little bit.
It's a little dark in here.
We're in the seabird habitat of the North Carolina Zoo. If you're visiting in the summertime, it's a fantastic place to visit because it's pretty cool, temperature-wise. Right now, we're filming this in December to share with you later on in the year, like early actually in 2022, we believe. It's still a really neat place to visit because the birds are active, they're moving around. The habitat itself is created with the birds in mind. The water is chilled year-round. And if you look inside the habitat, Brett, can you show them the wall? Well, yeah, that's not paint, digital friends.
It looks snowy.
It does look snowy. It looks snowy and icy, and it's really poopy. Yeah, that's the waste product from some of the seabirds. Now, some of it is paint, but that's the waste product of the seabirds. They'll just bounce up, jump up there, and then they'll fly down. So if you're ever kind of going, what does the North Carolina Zoo have? No penguins, because all of our birds can fly. Look at these little floof balls. Oh, Steve's here, I'm leaving. Oh no, I'll come back out. Arctic fox. Digital friends, I know these are some of your favorites. This is Rizzo and Kaniki. And I'm going to tell you that the one on the left is Rizzo. But I have no clue. They say that there's a way to tell them apart, but I'm not very good at it.
It's the toenails.
You think it's the nails, Megan?
Apparently, one of them has black toenails and one of them has white toenails. But I can never remember.
Yeah. I always heard that one of them had a judgy look.
Mm.
And that was Kaniki.
I feel like both of them do.
So Arctic fox here at the zoo, this is their white phase. If you've been with us in the past, you know that they go from this beautiful snow white color to a more gray or mottled kind of color in the summertime. Wonderful camouflage. They are a predator, so that camouflage allows them to sneak up on their prey. Small lemmings, maybe voles, even birds that bird eggs. Big challenge, though, when you don't have any snow and ice, you stand out like the proverbial sore thumb. It's a good thing here at the zoo. The keepers take amazing care of them. They don't have to go hunting for their food. One of my favorite animals at the zoo is definitely the Arctic fox. And I love one of their really neat behaviors. They actually cache some of their food, especially in the wild. So they kill much more than they can eat in the moment. And when they do that, then they'll bury the food in the ground. So they dig down into the soil, which is permafrost, permanently frozen. Dig down, bury it. Why? Why dig down and bury the food?
Steve,
Yo.
It's like going to the grocery store and like stocking up before the hurricane or whatever, and getting all your cold foods, your canned foods, and then you gotta throw them in the freezer,
Yep.
right?
So why do you put the foods in the freezer?
Because that's what the instructions say.
That's what the instruction. Megan. You put it in the freezer to keep it fresh, right? And that's what the Arctic fox is doing. It's using a natural freezer by digging down into that permafrost, the permanently frozen ground. Now, as you can imagine, in a warming planet situation, that can be a problem. These animals are built for those cold conditions.
Kind of like you.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, this is very true. What do you see? The keepers do some amazing training with the Arctic fox, try to get them used to being around people, be able to get them checking things out. They do some really cool stuff. There's some really neat episodes on that we've done in the past as well with the Arctic fox. But with this being one of our tours, we just wanted to show you, introduce the foxes to you. I do want to show you their skull. We'll let Brett stay where she is. We'll come to her this time. How's that look, Brett?
Ooh. Looks like a skull.
Looks like a skull. Digital friends, carnivore, herbivore, omnivore. Digital friends, what do you think? C, O, or H? Carnivore, omnivore, herbivore. Look at the teeth. The teeth tell you all of that. If you're ever out and about and you're looking for things and you're in the woods and you find a skull, I don't know what this is. I bet you know more than you think. Look at the teeth. Look at the position of the eyes. It'll begin to tell you something about that animal. So if you look close on this animal, it has those killing teeth, those strong canines. So we know that it's a meat eater of some sort, but if you look towards the back of the mouth, Megan so kindly shows you, they have a little bit of chewing teeth back there. They don't have just the cutting teeth. So here's an omnivore skull for you. Eating both plants and animals. Now, a lot of animals make up their diet, but they'll eat berries and grasses and other foods like that. And they also are very well known for following polar bears and scavenging off of polar bear kills. So it's kind of like teamwork, although the polar bear is doing all the work.
So it's like a holiday leftovers when your family members, your mom, your grandma, they do all the cooking, and then
You take some home with you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so kind of the same idea. So they follow. So it's not something the polar bear is doing on purpose, but it works out magnificently for the Arctic fox. What'd you find there, big guy? You going to chew on a stick? Yeah? Digital friends, meet Peyton. Say hello to Peyton. Peyton is one of our polar bears here at that North Carolina Zoo, taking you on a tour of Rocky Coast. That's what we call this space, this overall space that houses different species of animals. We're going to have a little sit down, go check things out, although you don't want to look at us. I don't know why. This is, again, Peyton, a male polar bear. Exquisitely built for life in the Arctic. If you had to describe the Arctic, digital friends, what would you say? It's big, it's vast, it's white.
It's cold.
It's cold. But there's not a whole lot of other features, right? That's what it is. So their senses are attuned to that. One of their best senses is their sense of
Style.
I mean, walking
Style?
around with a big white coat like that.
Not really.
That's
big
pretty
white.
stylish.
Not those kind of senses.
I think you look great.
You guys are throwing me all off. Brett, Megan, you're messing with me. One of their best senses is what?
Making boogers?
No, that's not a sense, that's a skill. Is their sense of smell?
So it has to do with boogers.
Yes, it does. Their sense of smell is tremendous. Look at the size of this nasal cavity. Being able to take in all of the smells that are around them in the far, far north. That nasal cavity is so important to them. It said they might be able to smell food. Their favorite food is what? Favorite food is what?
Steve.
Megan.
Seals.
Seals. Thank you, Megan.
Oh, I thought it started with an
Jeez.
S. I knew it started with an S.
Good job, Brett.
Thanks.
Stepping up
I
there.
know my stuff.
Yes. So yeah, their favorite food is seals. And it's believed they can smell that food from 20 miles away with that big old nasal cavity.
The stinky seal.
Stinky seals. It's also thought they might even be able to smell the pheromones of females. A male searching for, remember, they don't come across each other very well. and the vastness of the Arctic, they might be able to smell the pheromones of a female 70 to 75 miles away. Important, important, important when you're trying to breed in a space as vast as the Arctic. Look at Peyton. He's munching on these sticks. Peyton.
Apparently he really likes sticks.
He's into it, isn't he? Now what, Peyton?
He broke that stick. He has to find more.
So here at the North Carolina Zoo, this habitat that you're looking at kind of represents the southernmost region of their range, kind of that northern Manitoba, Canada, based on a place called Churchill, the polar bear capital of the world. Again, they are so exquisitely built for that cold, cold climate. So we needed to keep it cold for them. We need to keep it cold. We need to harness that carbon dioxide that's in the atmosphere, that carbon dioxide that's warming the planet, coming from as we burn things like fossil fuels, producing excess carbon dioxide, and all that carbon dioxide in the atmosphere trapping the heat from the earth. The Earth's heat can't escape. And because it can't escape, it continues to warm the planet. So we need to kind of harvest that CO2 out of the atmosphere or stop making it altogether. One really neat thing that you can, when you're looking at Peyton, he is built for the cold of the Arctic. Look at the fur. And on Peyton, we're kind of lucky in quotes. He's taking a big old drink. Kind of lucky in quotes here, in that he has had that. He's had an exam recently. You can kind of see some spots on him where they drew some blood. What color is a polar bear? Trick question. What color is a polar bear, digital friends? Do not fall for the trickiness. What color is a polar bear?
Yellow.
Yellow.
Dirty.
Dirty? My sister, when she was a wee lass, used to say, all away for yellow. But no, polar bears are white. You can see it. Polar bears are white. However, when you get into the trickiness, it's looking individually at specifics. The hair itself, the individual hairs are clear and relatively hollow. But if you stack up a bunch of straws that are clear, you're going to see stuff, right? And the skin, dramatic pause for effect, is black. The skin is black. So yeah, people will say all the time, oh, polar bears are clear. Oh, no, polar bears are black. No, polar bears are white. But they have an individual. He definitely found a toy. If you look close, you can see that skin is black. Hi, Bert. You can see that skin is black. And the fur, even it combined like that, gives them that white look. But each individual hair is clear and hollow. Why have black skin? What's the advantage of having black skin in the Arctic? Why don't you wear a black shirt in the dead of summer? See?
I'll melt.
You'll melt. So we know this. We get this. We don't want to have a black shirt on because it absorbs heat. So for the polar bear, that black skin absorbs whatever heat is available to them in the cold, cold Arctic North. It's a really magnificent adaptation that the bear has to survive in those extreme environments. Enrichment being played with there by Peyton. And Peyton is, do y'all remember how old Peyton is? 15? So Peyton is a 15-year-old male, he can stand up to 11 feet tall. That's crazy. He weighs anywhere between 800 and 1,000 pounds, kind of depends on the type of year. As the winter comes on, he puts more and more weight on. As summer comes on, he loses some of that weight. We do have a pair. Fingers crossed, digital friends, right now. Digital friends. We'll put our two females, a male and female together. How does that work again? We'll put the male and the female together a little bit later on, a little bit actually earlier in 2022, in hopes of having cubs produced. They're not together now. Why? Because they don't live together in the wild. So you want to provide that as much as we can, naturalistic living as we can at the zoo. You've heard us say it before. If an animal is solitary in the wild, it's going to be solitary here at the North Carolina Zoo. If it's a group animal or herd animal, we're going to put them together at the North Carolina Zoo. But we don't want to force that social dynamic if it's not appropriate for the species. So we put them together when they would be coming together, probably in that January, February timeframe. So if you get a chance to come in January or February, who knows? You might see two bears together. Digital friends, it was like, we're out here taping, we're doing a tour of Rocky Coast, right? We want to share Rocky Coast with you. I know some of you may not want to come in the winter time, so we wanted to share this animal. And it was like, we've already talked about Arctic fox, Steve. Yeah, but really? Have we seen an Arctic fox on a log being as cute as this little snowball?
It's so fluffy, I'm gonna die!
What a great shot. That was fun. Hello. It's kind of the best accent I have. Whew. This is an Inukchuk. Inukchuk is kind of a wayfinding device. This is built kind of one of the art pieces here at the zoo. We've talked about art before. The idea of a Inukchuk is you look through the opening to kind of find the next space you're going to. And that's what we've got going on here. So, I hope you enjoyed today's journey through the Rocky Coast habitat here at the North Carolina Zoo. We met the polar bear, saw some seabirds, and how nice of it was that Emily was able to kind of show us rhyme as well. That was really nice opportunity to fall into. So I hope you're enjoying the tours. Give us a thumbs up. You like the tours? Yeah? I hope so. It's fun to be able to share them with you. Again, because we know not everybody wants to come to the zoo in the wintertime. So let us bring the zoo to you. So your Zoo Adventures team today was Steve in front of the camera.
Right behind the camera. Megan.
Doing something. Megan doing her Megan thing. You were great. Moral support. And you were amazing at handing us biofacts today.
Comedic relief.
This is very true. Digital friends, there'll be some more tours coming down the road, so stay tuned. Watch those for sure. Stay safe. We hope to see you again soon at the North Carolina Zoo. Bye, y'all.